Alright, we're going to be watching Doinkyo, who is playing mostly Sigma and Reinhardt with a little bit of Roadhog on Circuit Royale. He is a Silver 3 tank, and this is on console, but the lobby is Gold 3. My younger brother has joined the Overwatch 2 train and has been playing tank and damage with us in comp. He played Overwatch back in Overwatch 1 days, but probably only has 30 or 40 hours in Overwatch 2 max across all roles. He likes playing Roadhog, but he had a lot of success playing Sigma into D.Va here, in my opinion. At any rate, I wanted to help him climb, and he asked me to get him a VOD review of his tank game and hire lobby with us to find some tips to improve. So, let's take a look at this game. I already watched it all the way through. Again, we just a little bit of Roadhog, and then mostly it's Sigma, and then Ryan, and then I think there's a little Rogue at the end. The biggest things that pop out to me are not really macro focused. I think this is really just about using your abilities intelligently, like to get a lot of good value out of them, and to hold them when you aren't going to get good value, and just like generally positioning. I think any of the concepts of like space creation, etc., like ult tracking, are not so important in this game, especially. But I'd say at your level, I think you get a massive benefit from just using your abilities more effectively. So we're focused mostly on that. Circuit Royale is also a very simple map. Like it's basically a straight. I mean, it's not a straight line, but it's a linear, winding track from beginning to end, which is why Sigma's so good at that. And I think that if you feel comfortable playing Sigma and you care about winning, you should basically always be playing Sigma on Circuit Royale. Sigma is far and away the dominant pick for Circuit Royale, and it's very rare that you would not want to play Sigma on this map if you were good at Sigma. So, let's watch start. Just spamming, which is fine. I mean, I'd be careful not to... The damage you're doing at this range is very low, so I'd be careful not to feed them too much ult charge here. But beyond that, it's, so you want to spam away, that's fine. This trap, obviously not good. They saw you throw the trap. Alright, they're going to see you chuck this trap towards them. Right? And then maybe the Zen doesn't see it. Oh my. I like the way I'm about to call you out for, you just threw the trap and they're all going to destroy, as they literally two people just walk into the trap. So in general, you shouldn't throw your trap at the enemy team when they can see it coming and it's not landing at their feet. Right? Because they'll just destroy it and then move forward the same way they would with a Junkrat trap or Junkrat mine or anything along those lines, Torb turret. But this team is oblivious, but generally speaking, that's not a good idea, right? You're probably looking for a hook here, so you put the trap here, look for a hook, hook them into the trap, get the kill, move on. And yeah, so you don't want to be wasting trap right now. Trap is a pretty long cooldown, not so good. But note here, let's talk about Roadhog hook. So Roadhog, even after the rework, is basically completely dependent upon his hook to create space. If you land hooks, you carry the game. If you miss hooks, you will throw the game. If you're somewhere in the middle, you will do okay. And then, it's going to be relying on the other aspects of your play and your team to win. So what's a good hook accuracy? I forgot to check stats for this game, but I think it's something like 55-ish% is average across pretty much all roles, across all ranks. And that might seem odd that it stabilizes across most ranks, but the reason being is even though higher ranked players are much more accurate, higher ranked players are also much better at dodging them and breaking the hooks. So I would say higher ranked players are also throwing them in more low percentage situations when they know they don't have another opportunity coming up. So they'll throw more blind around the corner hooks, for example, just to fish and see if they hit something, because they know it's a free hook, which will lower their overall accuracy. Regardless, I would say that's kind of the overall accuracy number. But again, that's not necessarily so helpful because it lacks context. I think that when you're thinking of, hey, just throwing a hook, so you got to think about what's the actual situation and then adjust accordingly for what you think the hook accuracy should be. So for example, if I'm Roadhog, I'm sitting right here, I'm going for a Zen. I think that at GM, they hit this hook 90% of the time, right? At this range, against the Zen, I would virtually guarantee you're going to hit a hook. For, let's say, gold, I think a gold player should still be hitting this hook 70% plus of the time, okay? Let's step it back. Let's say that the Roadhog is hooking from here, which is basically, this is pretty much the limit of Roadhog hook. I think a GM player is still hitting this something like 75% of the time. I think at this range, a gold player, the accuracy drops a ton. Right, this is really where you see the difference between high rank and low rank. Is the further away you are, there's more instinct and prediction involved, and that's when you can miss a lot more. So I think a gold player at this range only is hitting sub 50% ish, maybe 40% range, if not even lower, to try to hit this hook. So that gives you some idea of the kind of hooks. I would note that if you're fighting a D.Va, right? So there's a diva is eventually going to come out of... Where's the diva? Okay. If you're hitting the diva, this is pretty much always should be expected to be 100% hook. Right here, here, all the way out here. I would never expect you to miss a diva. Like, you just center it, and there's literally no way for her to dodge it. Okay. So, we spent some time talking about hook accuracy. So now we're past the hook accuracy point. Let's talk about the threat and space creation of hook. As long as you have hook, the enemy team has to respect the potential of being hooked. Now, that threat depends upon what hero they are and their cover situation. Diva, for example, doesn't really care about getting hooked. You hook her in, great, she just holds Matrix and she's fine, and you waste the hook. But, like the Zen, very dangerous, right? If you hook the Zen, almost assuredly he is going to die. Genji, fairly dangerous. If you don't insta-kill him, he can pop deflect, and then, that's a big problem for you and your team. But it's going to also depend upon how close they are to cover. Zen, right here, actually, right here is actually still pretty dangerous. Zen over here, not worried, because I can snap the hook really easily. Here, you might be able to get an angle that you can pull me around it, but over here, like the farther away I am, the closer I am to cover, I can snap the hook, even if you do hook me, and then you won't be able to pull me through. So, cover is a factor, size of the hero is a factor, their defensive abilities are a factor, the amount of health they have is a factor, all these things go into it. But that creates space. If they think, hey, there's a chance I can die here, or a sizable chance I can die here, they will back off and they will play cover and they won't advance. That is space creation for tanks. You can do that even without using any of your abilities, because hook is such an unbelievably dangerous ability, right? It's easily one of the most dangerous abilities in the game because it repositions the enemy team. And positioning in Overwatch is everything. If you take somebody and you move them, if you move the Zen, right? If you move the Zen from here to here, he dies. Like, forget about whether it does any damage or you do any damage. If you take the Zen and you put him right here, he dies because he has no way to get away. He's in the open, he's squishy, he dies instantly. So, hook, very, very strong. Now, the problem here is that hook has a 6-second cooldown. And when you don't have hook, you're quite frankly not that dangerous. Granted, he's been patched, right, a lot. So he does a lot more damage than before at certain ranges. I would say at most ranges. But it's still not that dangerous for most heroes, and most heroes can walk to at least here without worrying about getting blown up by you, right? And then here is where things get a little sketchier. Here, very dangerous. Roadhog, I believe, is the highest damage tank in the game. I can't remember what it is after. I haven't checked the stats after the patch, but like prior to the rework, I think Roadhog did something like 205 to 10 damage per second, in like an insane amount of damage. Obviously, that requires everything to hit. But at close range, you can get most of the pellets to hit. So, again, hook, really, really dangerous, right? As long as you have hook, the enemy team needs to respect that. And the idea is you're looking for a good hook opportunity, and then you hook them in, you get a kill, and then from there you snowball and you win the fight. But if you miss your hook, that's where things get bad, because then the enemy team can safely push you, and it's a problem. So there's a lot of nuance to understanding when you can throw hooks safely and miss versus when you can't. So, for example, right now, the enemy team is very far away. I could throw a hook at the Genji, for example, right now. If I miss it, no big deal. I'm not going to lose because of this. But once the enemy team gets to over here, if I miss a hook now and don't get a kill, they're going to run over my team. So let's watch. You throw a hook. I think you aim for the diva there, but you miss her. That's, quite frankly, unacceptable. Even for silver, you cannot miss tanks with hook. So you walk in front of the cart. You try to stall out a little bit. All right, you finish all your shots. You go for this hook. This hook has no prayer of landing. Right? This is not an accuracy problem. This Zen is well behind the cart by the time you throw this hook. So this hook has no chance of landing. Like, you just can't throw these hooks, right? It's not like a low percentage hook chance. It is a 0% chance. The Zen is behind the cart. So you miss this hook. And I'm going to zoom out for a second, and I'm going to show you what happens. Remember, you have no hook right now. Okay? You're going to reload right now. No hook, and let's see what happens. So you have no hook. They push in. Bastion's going to die here. Yari's going to die, etc. Right? They're all pushed into you. Now you're going to die, right? The rest of the team kind of able to pull back, and that's it. That happens because you missed one hook, right? Again, look back. So, right here, you throw this hook, bad hook, okay? Now what? Now you have no presence, right? No space creation. Diva goes by you. You throw this trap out here, and now what? What can you do to stop this from happening? You don't have hook. You can shoot them, but the thing is, the Diva has full health. It's going to take you forever to kill her. The Genji is injured here. You might not realize that. Like, you could probably kill a Genji with one shot here if you have good aim, but the problem is he's going to get a dash reset, like, pretty much right away. And now you're in trouble. And now they all push into you, and you're helpless. This is kind of the issue with Roadhog. pre-rework, post-rework, this is the issue of Roadhog. If you don't land hooks, you're gonna lose. Like, it is really that simple. If you don't land hooks, you're gonna lose. Roadhog is like the Widowmaker of tanks. Okay? You hit shots, you carry, you feel like a boss. You miss shots, you throw, your whole team flames you. And your team's not gonna flame you because it's a stack. But I'm just noting here that like that's kind of like the feast or famine nature of the hero. If you aren't landing hooks, you're gonna lose. I cannot make this any clearer. In order to land hooks, the key thing here, when you really need it, when you gotta have it, okay? Again, the first hook you throw, whatever. Yeah, this hook, I mean, honestly, I think you could have thrown a better hook than that one, but fine, right? But right now is a key time. I know my hook cooldown is coming up. I'm looking for a good hook. One of the problems here is even if I hook somebody, D.Va is going to stop them. Like, stop them from dying. But there's nothing I can do about that because I opened Roadhog and she's playing D.Va, and this is a map which is not conducive for Roadhog because it's a very linear map where they can always see you coming, right? Maps that are more dynamic, that have more branches, are better for Roadhog because it's hard to tell where he's going to hook you from. If you're always in front of them, it's very easy to track your hook and play accordingly. But if you can take flank angles, you get really close to them unexpectedly. For example, like Oasis University. Actually, that's not like the best example. Even like Control Center, right? On Legion Tower, right? That's like a reasonable example of like, look, you can find angles where people are not expecting you to come from, and you can get them. But a garden, right? Also on Oasis, right? So Garden's another example of like here a match where like you could potentially get hooks and come from an odd angle. But in Circle Royale, there's no hiding. There's no like sneakiness. Like they're gonna see you the entire time coming. Anyway. So let's imagine it's not a D.Va here, because like, honestly with the D.Va, there's like basically nothing you can do here. As long as the D.Va plays correctly, there's almost no way that you could get a kill here. I would actually focus on burning the D.Va down constantly, like shooting her non-stop, and then hooking her when she tries to Matrix, pull her in, and try to demech her that way is probably your best plan. But let's say for a second this is not a D.Va. Okay, let's say it's a Ramatra. Let's say, okay. What I'm looking for right now is I'm looking for an easy hook opportunity. This not an easy hook opportunity, probably. Right? You see, he pops deflect there. I don't want to be hooking that. So this Zen made me vulnerable, but the problem is my crosshair wasn't on him in time. It's too late. Fine, give it up. Genji's finished deflect. Okay, if he stabilizes, if he like straightens out, I can look for a hook opportunity. Again, we're ignoring the fact that you actually throw a hook. I'm just talking it through as though I'm looking for the hook. Up to this time, I don't see a clear hook. I could hook the D.Va over the cart, but that's not going to help me in this situation. And let's say again, assume she's not a D.Va, but it's like a Ramatra. So I'm not going to hide here, right? I'm still going to stay. I'm going to keep shooting. I'm going to apply pressure. I'm looking, and then I step out, and now I hook the Zen. Why? Well, let's look at the positioning of the Zen here. Okay? If I'm here, I see the Zen go left. Okay, great. I see that, and I see he's gonna come out to the right now. And now I hook, and I'm going to aim this side. Oh, my new tool. FYI, I got Epic Pen. I looked up like what other people use. Epic Pen is apparently this tool that people use to draw, and it's kind of neat. Anyway, it's my first usage of it, and we'll see how valuable it is. So the Zen here, when I throw the hook, depending on how close I am, there's only a certain degree of distance that he could possibly travel one way or the other. Right? If I'm standing here, like if I'm farther away, he could potentially, this is an exaggeration, but like he can go farther, but he's obviously not going to be able to go that far. So Zen can only throw here. The hook hitbox is roughly this big. So the idea here is I want to maximize my chances. The closer I am, the easier is the hook, okay? If you can only dodge a little bit, then obviously I can just throw a dead center and I can get him. That's the same thing for D.Va, right? D.Va's such a huge hitbox that she cannot possibly dodge the hook. For the Zen here, there's a little bit of prediction, but mostly it's about accuracy. So I want to be putting the hook roughly around here. The reason being is even if the Zen goes all the way to the left, it's still in his hitbox. And if he goes all the way to the right, it's also in his hitbox. One of the reasons why I go to the left here is because I don't expect the Zen to keep going to the right. Once he sees me looking at him, going for the hook, most people will retreat backwards towards cover. This rule is going to change a little bit when you reach higher ranks, where people will juke and then come back the other way. Yeah, this pen's already proving its value right now. There's a lot of stuff that I've explained before, but without a pen, it's hard to explain. But most people will try to go towards the left here, and then like that's what I'm kind of expecting here, and that's what I'm also trying to pick up here with the hook. But this is a good hook opportunity. You get him, you hook him, and then you pull him. Ideally, how do I clear this? Yeah. You get him, pull him,
and you hook them into the middle of the lane so all your team can see them. That way you're not body blocking. If you hook them in front of you, your team can't see and shoot him. If you pull him in front of you, right, or sorry, to the side of you, then your whole team can shoot him. He's exposed. You kill him. You get your pick. You win the fight. So that's the general idea around looking for hooks, right? I want to look for a clean, easy hook. Not the Genji who has deflect. Not the tank who probably isn't going to die if I hook them anyway, plus this tank is unbelievably strong against Roadhog. I'm looking for someone who will die if I hook them. So the Zenyatta, number 1 target for sure. Lifeweaver 2 could potentially die. I would just make sure to stand next to him, so if he pedal platforms, I go back up with him. But dash alone won't save him in that situation. Again, nothing you can do here. It really is that straightforward. Like, even if I were you, right, like a GM tank playing in the situation, once I miss this hook and they push in, there's literally nothing I could do to stop this. Right? They're just going to come in and kill your team. I would probably, by the way, in this situation, not worry about them. I would just immediately push the supports. Because I know I can't stop them from getting the kills. So I would just push the supports and try to kill the Zen right away. Alright, you switch off Roadhog, which we spent, I don't know how long talking about. But that's pretty much, you play Roadhog again at the end. Alright, common Sigma mistakes. Pretty much everyone below Platinum, and to some extent below Diamond, makes the same mistakes on Sigma that I cover over and over and over again. Number 1, for Rock, do not use Rock for damage. Don't be like, I feel like chucking Rock at them. I'm going to chuck a Rock at. That is not the correct usage of Rock. Never spam Rock. Rock has a 10-second duration cooldown. I've seen people even use Rocks against like Reinhardt shield. Reinhardt has like a 1300 health shield. The Rock does nothing. Like it literally does nothing. Rock does why am I blanking on damage right now? So Rock does 85 damage. Is that right? This is what happens when you mess up your hand. You've been playing Overwatch 1. Yeah, Rock does 85 damage because Hyperspheres do 55 damage each for 110, right? So 110 plus 85 is 195. Yeah, that feels right. Right enough. Anyway, it doesn't one shot. So Rock does 85 damage, which is good, and it's relatively reliable because of giant hitbox, but the problem is this damage will never result in a kill. You hit the Zen here. Is the Zen going to die? No, there's no way he's going to die. There's no follow-up here right now for this Rock. He's going to get immediately healed up, he's behind cover, and he's fine. And so you wasted your 10-second cooldown for nothing. Now, you might be like, okay, what was I supposed to do with Rock? Just hold it. Just wait. You will get, I guarantee you will get a better opportunities for Rock. Also, the enemy team will play differently when you have Rock versus when you don't have Rock. We already saw that concept with Roadhog, where you threw a hook, you missed it, and then you lost the fight because you missed the hook, because there's nothing you could do at that point to stop the enemy team from just walking over yours and then winning. So that's got to be like a key part of here is holding Rock itself gives you value. Spamming them out constantly is not good. And I'm not saying hold Rock for like 30, 60 seconds. You're still going to be popping it probably every, 13 to 15 seconds or so. But don't just throw Rock randomly just really, really far away. Your regular attacks do more damage than Rock does. Now, you can animation cancel them with Rock, but beyond that, like, there's no real reason to pop Rock. Okay, so we're going to come out here, we're going to fight. Quick note here. D.Va is actually very dangerous at close range. D.Va does about 145 damage per second. How much damage per second do you think Sigma does? Give you a second. Think about it. D.Va, again, as I said, did 145 without missiles, right? With missiles, she does about 215, 220. How much damage do you think Sigma does per second? Do you think Sigma does like D.Va damage? Do you think that Sigma does like 145 damage? Do you think Sigma does 100 damage? Do you think Sigma does 50 damage? Sigma does about 70, I think it's like 77, 78 damage a second, which means D.Va does twice as much damage as you do. And D.Va can headshot, which can potentially double her damage. So at point blank here, right? Because that's pretty much the only time she's going to get that many headshots. She could be doing 280 damage a second to you without missiles. Do you know how much damage you'll be doing? 77. That's really bad. Now, the thing about D.Va is that D.Va's firing these little like rapid fire shotguns. They have spread and they have massive damage fall off. So here, maybe I'm taking 280 damage a second. Here, I'm taking about 140 damage a second. Here, I'm taking like 50 damage a second. And here, I'm taking like 10 damage a second. This is the difference of damage fall off, right? And I have a video for that as well. Damage fall off is a massive concept in this game. Understanding how much damage do heroes do at certain ranges is key to climbing at Overwatch. And I'm sure you already understand that from playing other heroes or against other heroes. For example, Reaper, very dangerous when he's up close to you. Reaper far away, not that dangerous. You need to know all of these matchups, all the damages, all the effective ranges, not necessarily like the exact numbers, but like a feel for like, is this like a threat or is this not a threat? D.Va here might as well not be shooting you. Even not as a tank, even as a squishy. If I'm an Ana, D.Va's trying to shoot me from this range, great, I'll duel her. I'll literally kill the D.Va who has like 8 times my health, 7 times my health. That's not true. I grossly exaggerated. 4 times my health, right? The D.Va that has like 4 times my health is Ana. I could kill the D.Va faster than she can kill me here because she's doing almost no damage to me right now as Ana if I'm standing at this distance, okay? Why am I telling you about this? Sigma does the same damage at all ranges because he is, generally speaking, projectiles do not have any damage fall off. Orisa's like the one example in the game. So, or one exception in the game. So for Sigma, I don't want to fight D.Va here, where she's very strong. I want to fight D.Va as far away as I can, where she is very weak. Because I am equally as strong at close range and at far range, so I should use my range. Okay? That is a critical concept to playing Sigma well, is understanding your range. Now, I can't play max range. Max range for Sigma is 22 meters, which is like all the way out to like basically here. The problem is, I can't get that angle. Right? I have to literally stand all the way over here, and this creates no space for my team. The D.Va's just going to ignore me and go past me and go fight my team. So I need to stay somewhere in this lane is correct. But I don't want to play close to the corner. I want to play farther from the corner out here. Because out here, again, the D.Va does almost no damage to me, but I do full damage to her. If she wants to damage me, she needs to step forward. If she steps forward, she has no cover, and my team can shoot her. Little things like that are what positioning is all about, especially as tanks in Overwatch. Understanding how do I outplay the opposing tank, a big part of it is your positioning. Alright, we attack D.Va here. We pop Grasp. I would not use Grasp here. So, we covered common mistake number 1 for Sigma is throwing rocks unnecessarily. Mistake number 2 is Grasp. You want to use Grasp when you're being focused down and you are low. What's low mean? Low is like 60% health or below. So like 350-ish and below is like when you start considering using Grasp. Once you're down to like 200, you should definitely be grasping if you need it and you're going to die otherwise. You don't want to pop it early because then people can just ignore you. There's no reason for them to shoot a full health tank. But a low health tank, everybody wants to get that kill, and then you get focused and you get a ton of overhealth, which is great. Now why, even though you're like somewhat low here, do I say don't want to pop Grasp here? Number 1, we already saw that D.Va finished firing all of her missiles. So I have no projectiles to eat from D.Va. Number 2, once you pop Grasp, the D.Va can just stop shooting. Right? It's not like a Pharah where she fires a rocket that flies a while and then hits you, or a Junkrat, okay? She has a rapid fire gun that does very little damage per shot, but like it fires very, very quickly. She can just stop almost instantly, and now you got 60 overhealth. That's terrible. You're looking for something like 200 plus on every single Grasp. Okay? This Grasp is virtually useless unless you were going to die. And you are not actually in danger of dying there, especially with support behind you. So I don't think this is necessary at all. So, again, think about effective ranges. So you see how you're continually getting closer to the D.Va right now? Okay, so now we're creating some distance. Good. You want to back up here. But you see how you come close? This is all wrong. You need to be retreating backwards away from the D.Va and just burning him down constantly. Sigma is a tank that is all about patience. If you want to walk in there and just win a fight right away, do not play Sigma. Okay? You want to play someone like Reinhardt or Orisa or Ramatra or even potentially sometimes Roadhog, right? You want to pick somebody who is brawly, who can walk up in their face and beat them up. That is not Sigma. Sigma is like the intellectual tank. He is the one where it's like, I am going to outplay you over the next 20 seconds of this fight by constantly burning through your resources until you feel helpless, and then I will kill you. That's the way Sigma plays. Okay? He's a tank that relies on attrition to win because he is the second lowest damage tank in the game. Only Winston's lower. And Winston, this is single target damage, by the way. Winston has massive area cleave, so in reality his damage is actually significantly higher than Sigma's. Sigma does have splash, but it's not nearly as big as Winston's is. So for Sigma, what you do is you start fighting them and you just like kite and kite and kite and kite and kite, and eventually their health runs out because they can't keep up with the damage, and then you walk in and you kill them. That's the way Sigma plays. You are playing it way too brawly, which means you're taking massive damage right now unnecessarily. You have the rock here basically just keep yourself alive. So, that's just a note here. I would also note here that when you're fighting like this, if you have to, just put your shield out. Throw your shield in front of you, and then bubble dance on both sides of the shield in order to prevent her from fighting you, or from killing you, okay? The shield and bubble dancing, shield dancing, is a very, very important technique. I'm not occurred to me, I might want to make a video on this, but very, very important technique to like keep yourself alive. So D.Va's gonna throw a bomb here, which is honestly a really bad call, but you're gonna throw shield, I think, as she goes. Yeah. So she's going right now. The correct thing to do is calmly turn around, see where the bomb's gonna be, and then throw a shield out. Not like a really far shield. So one of the problems you have throughout this whole game, you die to this over and over again. One of the problems you have is when you throw down a shield, you hold it way too long. Because you can put shield down like right in front of you as you just tap the button. But you hold it down so the shield travels farther out. That means that you end up getting killed by this. So let's watch. Well, first of all, you threw the shield totally unnecessarily, right? Obviously that D.Va bomb is still flying. And now you're no shield and you're going to die here. And this costs you a fight. This is really bad. This is like a very rookie mistake that should not be happening, right? If you're playing Sigma here. Again, this is honestly a super bad bomb for her. All you to do is just turn, throw the shield down, stay behind the shield, you and the soldier live. But instead, you messed up your shield, and then you end up dying. Alright, we're coming back. So, cart's still really far away. We are in a 5-on-4 situation, so we should be able to push through this choke and take space. I know I'm in a 5-on-4 situation because you can always see the cart through walls, and you can see that there is someone on the cart and the cart is moving, which means that one person is way too far away to affect this fight. So I should have numbers advantage here. I can be aggressive. I also see that Genji uses deflect here. So I want to walk forward aggressively right now. I also want to put down the shield when I'm not using it. A good example of rock like being spammed. This rock is not going to result in a kill. This D.Va is already walking to the left right now. You should not be rocking. You should just be attacking. Just attack, attack, attack. Look for clean opportunities to rock people. Unfortunately, 2 people have died. It's not like entirely on you, because you are basically running forward as fast as you possibly can. But I would note here is that I don't think this initial shield was actually necessary. Like, this shield is not needed at this moment in time, and it's going to get spammed down. But now that I reach here, now I would throw my shield forward as I see that they're all like looking at this angle. But anyway, so you waste rock, you waste shield, but 2 people die here, but like there's not, again, not a ton you could have done about that. So now you need to slow down, and then you need to play the choke, okay? The cart is still very far away, more than enough time for your team to spawn here and come out and regroup. So just hold the choke, farm ulti. So, just chill here, which is good. You're not trying to push out, which is good. You're just spamming, and look at the timing of your grasp. Look at your health right now. So, 550 health. Now you pop Grasp. You are at full health right now, popping Grasp. Grasp will absorb this damage, but the D.Va will just stop shooting at you. This Genji dash, Grasp does not stop that. He's going to fly right through you and engage on your soldier. This is bad. You are reducing your uptime against a tank that is down to 1/3 of their health that you could just kill by shooting them. Or you could help with the Genji. But instead, you're using Grasp right now and not doing anything. For the record, Rock would be extremely useful. You could use Rock to kill the Genji right now, because Genji cannot deflect Rock. You could use Rock to kill the D.Va. These are opportunities where Rock is valuable, not you throwing Rock at the beginning of every single fight. So everything that you're doing right here is not helping you win the game. Now, at this moment in time, see, look how little, like, you got, like, I don't know, 50, 70, 75 health off Grasp. It's like nothing. You need to help your soldier who's in like a life or death duel with the Genji. The Genji dashed in, which means he has no way to get out of this. You need to be attacking the Genji right now. Alright, great. We're attacking the Genji. We're going to miss a couple shots. Right, he pops deflect. I need to wait. So, I don't back here. You're full health, right? You have control of the choke. The card is coming. I stay at the choke. I do not back up here. Right? D.Va walks in. She's purple. Yeah, see, this is a good rock opportunity. She's purple. She's trying to DM because she realizes she's made a mistake. Right? She goes in here, and she's like, oh, shoot. She's getting burned out. If you hit a rock here, she probably gets DMAC'd. This is a good rock. Would you throw this? This is exactly what we look for. It's unfortunate that the Life Weaver saves the D.Va here with Tree. That's a really good play by the Life Weaver, but, like, this is the right idea. These are the kind of rocks you're looking for. A clear opportunity where you're almost assuredly going to land the rock, and there is follow-up damage to kill, or at least force cooldowns. Alright, so, One thing to note about Sigma is, I think this is a very common mistake for lower rank Sigmas, is you get frustrated at the lack of progress. You're like, wow, I feel like I've been fighting this forever. That's just kind of the nature of Sigma. He is an attrition tank. You have to burn people down for quite a long time for it to work, which is why Sigma is terrible in like overtime slash, I wouldn't say overtime, I would say like final point hold situations. If the team is coming, like, you know, if offense is like barreling down towards your final point, going back to spawn, swapping Sigma coming out is a terrible idea because you're never going to have time to like burn down those resources from an attrition perspective. So for Sigma, this is enough space to work with. This is time, right? The cart distance from the point is equal to time that you have to fight them. You have time here to keep burning them down. But if the cart is here, you have no time, and then you're in big trouble if you haven't already created an advantage. So your goal for the next like 30 seconds while this is coming towards this point is to continue applying damage pressure. And ideally, you want to be able to control this space out here to allow your team to get out and have more angles. If your whole team is clumped up here, you're never going to be able to win this point. You have to create some degree of space. That's why right now, you really need to actually be walking forwards here and applying more pressure onto the diva, etc. of the team. Now, you take a ton of damage here. I would note that right now, I pop Grasp. Because you just got headshot by the Widow. I'm at 180 health. I am in danger. I need to pop Grasp right now. This is what Grasp is for. You can't pop Grasp because you wasted it earlier. Remember when you were at full health and you popped it? Now you don't have that ability. The mistakes you make in the past affect your ability to make plays in the future. That is like a core rule to like Overwatch in general on a micro scale and a macro scale. I've often gotten questions in the past where people are like, how could I possibly have won this last fight? The enemy team had like 5 ultis and we had no ultis. Well, yeah, you don't, because you made so many mistakes that the enemy team has 5 ultimates and you're down to a final fight situation. The issue is not the final like fight of the game. The issue is the entire game where you played poorly and they accrued massive advantages against you, right? Same concept here, but on your ability cooldowns. Wasting abilities in the past means that when you actually need them, you have no tools to use them. And because you can't grasp here, your Ana's going to pop Nano because she's afraid you're going to die, right? There's a delay there. It's not like instant. There was time there for your Ana to read, hey, do you grasp? Because if you pop grasp, the correct call here is not for your Ana to nano you, obviously. Like, she shouldn't nano you because you can't even deal damage while you're grasping. But if you pop grasp here, you could potentially get a ton of overhealth back and then just walk back out here, and then your Ana nanos you and then you fight. I would also note that Sigma's probably one of the worst heroes in the game to nano because he has such low damage and it's unreliable. Sigma's hyperspheres are quite hard to hit, so he's generally not a good nano target, and I've mentioned this before, but like his ultimate is not actually boosted by nano. It technically is, but like it literally only adds 25 damage, unlike all other tanks where it adds 50% of the total damage because of Sigma's unique flux mechanics. Anyway, as a result of not having grasp, nano gets popped. This is bad because nano right now you have pop grass, right, because you got spooked. So you're going to waste the first 2 seconds of nano doing absolutely nothing, A. B, you're pinned in here, right, fighting only the tank instead of using this nano to go after the squishies. So C, you're just not a good nano target. So all the things here are bad versus like nanoing like the soldier here or the Genji, right? These are like people who could like make plays. You have almost no ability to make a play here of nano. So you're going to come out. Fortunately, your team is going to frag out anyway, right? Your team just got 2 picks here that have nothing to do with you, right? Diva gets popped here. I think you're... Yeah, so Genji comes out, gets a pick. Kiriko kills the baby diva behind you, and now you're walking forwards. All right, great. So walk forwards right now. So Genji pops Blade. What do we do right now? Well, actually, if you had Flux, a reasonable play would be to immediately Flux right now. It's risky, but it can be a massive play if you pull it off. But I have 2 choices at this moment in time with this Genji going out. Because as soon as you see him go up, I know he's popping Blade. This is like universal Genji like body language for I'm going to pop Blade. He dashes up, I know Blade's coming right away. Like, I don't even need to hear the voice line. I don't, like, nothing to happen, he's popping Blade. What do we do right now? You have 2 options. Option number 1, I turn back and I try to kill the Genji. This is a good option, especially when he is not nanoed and your team is there and they are not low. Genji doesn't get any more durable when he pops Blade, so killing the Genji is a legitimate option if you can't kill someone instantly. The problem is if everyone's low, he'll just like chain like the kills back and forth, and then you'll never be able to kill him because he's too fast. But if people aren't low, I think a reasonable option to turn back and to kill them. Kill the Genji. That's number 1. Option number 2 is push forward and kill the Zen and kill the Widow. You, as a tank, should easily be able to kill both of these without a problem. There's almost no way mathematically that they can win that fight. It's very straightforward. Just follow the shield, kill the Zen, walk over, kill the Widow. Right? Like, she can escape, maybe, right? This is a really hard angle for her to escape, but like, she has no way, like, she plus the Zen have zero chance of being able to kill you. So, would you rather take the guaranteed 2 kills here, or turn back and kill the Genji? Honestly, either one of these is a fine option. I think that I personally would probably kill the Zen here, because what I actually think is going to happen is I'm going to force Zen trance, because I haven't seen Zen trance yet. Zen's going to trance out and save the Genji. But that's going to happen regardless, and I need to force out ultimates. Because I think that there's a reasonable chance that we might lose this fight regardless. But I need to force out ultimates here. I don't trust myself as Sigma to hit a Genji as Sigma. It is quite difficult to hit him with your hyperspheres. So in this situation, if I had Rock, I would do this differently. With Rock, for sure, I'd walk back immediately and try to rock him, because Rock is a massive hitbox. But without Rock, I think I'd probably just push forward and just try to force out trance here. You turn back. Genji's here, kills your Ana. You throw a rock, you miss it. You miss those 2. You miss some more. Miss some more. Miss some more. Miss some more. Still missing. And then Genji's going to die. I'm going to roll this back, because I think this is very important to note. Overwatch, at its core, is a first-person shooter. That means you need to shoot people, and you need to land shots. There is no amount of game sense, decision making, etc., like tips that I can give you, that are ever going to compensate enough for the fact that if you cannot hit shots, you cannot influence games, which means you will lose. So starting from the moment when the Genji pops in, let's track your shots. Okay? So you missed these 2. So we're 0 for 2 right now. We missed the rock. 0 for 3. That rock was popped way too late for us to be able to do anything. But also, I saw him get the kill on the Ana, so I know he's going to dash anyway. So there's no point in me using Rock right now, because he's going to immediately go over it. Alright, so we're 0 for, 3 right now? 0 for 3. 0 for 4. These shots are not even close. This shot hit the pillar. So, 0 for 5, right? 0 for 5. Looking for the Genji. That shot is not close. That shot was like an inch. Let me do a little drill. It was like, he was over here, and your shot was over here. This is not close. You need to have, like, at least some chance of your crosshair being on them in order to land the shot. So I think we're, 0 for 9 now? 0 for 7? 0 for 7. We'll say 0 for 7. So we're looking. Again, you notice that these shots are simply not on target, right? The first one was way off. The second one's, like, closer, but your crosshair is yet to even catch up to him. Right? Like, even right now, we can see your crosshair is not actually on his body. You have no chance at landing these attacks. And I know it's happening in real time, but I'm just noting, like, these are the things that are going to be a problem for you. And I'm trying to note them now so you can, like, focus more on aim practice and dueling and things like that. Because if you're not hitting shots at basically point blank, this is, like, as easy as they're going to get for you. Obviously, Genji's, like, not a large hitbox, but if you can't hit shots at that distance, like, it's going to be tough. So, I can't remember where we're at. 0 for 11? Let's say 0 for 9. So, we're looking. Okay, so it's good there that you paused, because you're trying to, like, get kind of, like, align to where he is and attack. These misses are okay. I don't hate these, because these misses are at least in the general area of him, and they could have hit them. That's fine, right? Like, your timing here is a little off, right? Again, this one was a little short, this one was a little late, but, like, that's the right idea for aim. But these are the first 2 shots that were even close to him. All the other shots had no chance of hitting him whatsoever. It's not about him dodging. You just can't put your crosshair on him. And then over here, we're going to miss that one. Right? The first one's missing, so that's 0 for 12. And then this one's going to hit him dead on. So now we're 1 for 13. That's a problem. And I'm sure you realize that, like, going here, like, you missed 12 attacks in a row against the blading Genji. Again, there's no tips that I can give you that are going to make up for missing that many attacks. It's going to be really tough to keep climbing without improving your aim here. And I don't think it's, like, impossible. I think you just need to practice, right? It takes time, a lot of time, right? I have, like, literally, like, 10,000 hours of, like, competitive shooter experience. It takes a lot of time to get good at it. But I'm just flagging this now for you to know, like, look, if you want to improve, like, at playing Overwatch, one of the things you should be thinking about is aim training. I mean, I think that's obvious, but like your snap there is like way too far. So, right, you get him with this one. See, the Genji's not even on your screen. Like, this is an issue. On PC, I would say there's a sensitivity issue, but I know on consoles it's different because like otherwise you like can't aim fast enough. So I'm just flagging that like these attacks, the Genji is actually not on your screen when you attack, which is a problem. All right, so Genji finally dies. No, really, because you did anything to him. So, is this rock good based on everything we learned so far? No. The D.Va is next to a corner, far away, and she's definitely not going to die if I hit her with a rock, so this rock is no value. I just want to step forward right now, and knowing that they've lost a bunch of people, I want to try to delay this D.Va, right? I want to burn as much damage as I can, and then potentially when she flies away, then I can rock her out of the air and maybe get a D-Mech. That's what you're looking for right now. D.Va walks up. Okay, fine. I walk into her right now. This is the time for me to press and be aggressive because I know she has no teammates here. Genji's here. Yep. Get super aggressive here. Great. Pop D-Mech. I would attack her right there, but like that's fine. Is this a good rock? It's not a good rock, right? There's like, oh, if you're going to do that, you might as well attack after that. Because you can immediately attack. If you hold down the attack trigger after rock is thrown, you will immediately attack with it, which actually would have given you a chance to kill the baby D.Va. But you actually don't want to kill the baby D.Va right now, which is weird. Because the baby D.Va, if you don't kill her, will take time to farm ultimate to get her mech back. And even then, you might interrupt and kill her at that point in time. If you kill her for sure right now, kill baby D.Va, she gets to respawn with her mech. So letting her live right now is actually the better call. So you should consider throwing shield here. Just, oh no. No. I was going to say, you should consider throwing shield here so that your Genji can poke safely, and so he can farm blade, because he's at 96%. But what Genji does is he's going to pop deflect right now. Now I don't want to throw shield, because when you throw shield here, you're blocking the damage that would have hit him and deflect back. So you see all those shots? Genji doesn't get a chance to deflect any of that because you threw shield. So, no good. Alright, Sojourn's here. Do we need the grasp right now at 421 health against the baby D.Va and a half elf Sojourn? We do not. There is no need to grasp right now. So, you rock. Genji pops blade. So I hear Genji blade. I hope you have a headset, by the way. So I hear Genji blade. Where do I hear Genji blade? Because of sound, right? Because of just stereo sound, I can tell that the sound coming from this side and the sound coming from this side are balanced in my ears. That means the Genji has to be basically in line with me. He's either directly in front of me, which is not possible, right? Or he is above me, right? Or he is behind me right now. Contextually, because it's a Genji blade, I assume he probably dashed into the air here, and so he's popped blade. What does that mean in net? That means that my Genji is right above me, right? And he's gonna dash in right now. What does that mean for me specifically? That means I need to push in right now with the blade. Okay? So if we look what's actually happening here, let's follow this back. Again, Genji goes up, dashes, right? Exactly what I said. Sounds at balance between the left ear and right ear, so I know that he has to be either in front of me, behind me, or above me. So I can tell. I can also hear the audio softness of it. I can tell that it's like farther away from me, so I can tell that he's got to be above me. Plus, again, Genji blade. He's popped blade. I should immediately walk in and help him. The general rule for when teammates pop ultimates is you want to synergize with them. You want to push in with the ultimates to try to get kills. Otherwise, you leave them kind of alone on an island, and then then you stay alive, and then they die, and then you lose the fight anyway. So the goal here is I need to push in and help him get kills. Without Nano here, he cannot one-shot anybody. So I need to help him be able to one-shot someone to make this as a consistent win versus a maybe win. So, what do you do here? Blade is popped. What do? You see how you back up right now? This is the incorrect move. You need to be going forwards right now, pushing in with the team. See, you're still backing up right now as the Genji has bladed in. You see, you're still backing up right now. Like the Genji is in, he's fighting 5 people right now, and you, the tank, the most durable member of the team who has almost no chance at dying in the situation, you are playing so far back. Anyway, trance is forced here. Now you decide to walk in when they're all getting 300 health a second, but we're looking for, okay, Genji's done a good job. He's forced trance, right? Honestly, that's really your job. Usually it's the tank jobs to force trance. Um, so Genji has forced trance. My goal is they're all clustered up right now to not die to Blade. They're clustered around the trance. So I'm looking for Flux right now where I pick them all up and then we win the fight. In fact, I could Flux right now, even though trance isn't over, because Flux will take so long to pop them in the air and come back down that the trance will have ended by now. So I want to actually get 3-4 people right now. At any moment in time, this would be a reasonable Flux. One of the issues here, though, is that you mess up your shield. So this shield is not helping anybody right now. You see how you throw the shield? You consistently throw shields too far up. You want to throw the shield nice and close, like right here, that way it blocks everything. They just walk around your shield, and now your shield's not doing anything. If you had the shield right here, you would be A, full health, and B, can use the shield as cover. You pop Flux, lift them, get back behind the shield, and then kill everybody. So, really unfortunate, right? Not able to follow up on this. Zen's out of position a little bit. Yeah, I'm aiming for the Zen. D.Va's got mech back. Rock, that's fine. I think that's a reasonable rock because the D.Va's like flying at you. I personally wouldn't do it because this is an insane play for it to fly at you to begin with, but I think it's perfectly fine at your level to throw that rock. I think that rock is fine. Now note that they're all clumped up right now. At any moment in time, you can pop Flux if you had health, but the problem is your shield is all the way over here and you're super low. You pop Grasp. This is a good Grasp. This is exactly what we're looking for out of Grasp. You get low, you're out of position, you made a mistake, Grasp saves you. Right? And now, you got like 150-ish health on it, but most importantly, you didn't die. And that's what Grasp saves your life. Like, that's the point of Grasp. I'd be careful about being too aggressive right now. You also need to retract your shield. A common Sigma mistake is not to retract your shield. So you pop Flux now, which is like a tricky thing because the angle here is a little tougher because it's slanted, but like it's still viable. Unfortunately, Genji gets a kill and dashes right back out again, but still fine. I think the general idea of Flux, again, I think you should have done it earlier, but I think this is still an okay Flux. You lift. Rule for Flux, right? Basic Flux kill technique. When you lift somebody, attack them in the air, wait for them to land, attack them on the ground. That's the way you kill people with Flux, right? You lift, look at them, attack, look at where they land, attack on the ground. Don't try to attack too soon after you lift, because you more than likely will miss, unless your muscle memory is excellent. See, you lift right now, you should go for the Sojourn right now to confirm the kill. Instead, you shoot, you're going to miss, and the Sojourn's going to drop, and you should get one more attack on the ground. So all the attacks that you have miss. Now, you might say, oh, well, the Sojourn dies anyway, but you didn't know that was going to happen. If the Sojourn gets, at this point in time, let's see what the Sojourn was at. So after the lift, so it does 50 initially, right? And then it's going to do half their max health on landing. So 100 damage on landing to Sojourn. If the Sojourn gets 25 health and healing, which she could get from one partial heal from the Lifeweaver who's standing right here, then the Sojourn will not die. So the Lifeweaver could just drop off right now and just heal the Sojourn. Or if he has grip, right, he could just grip her away. So he can easily save this right now. You should attack the Sojourn to confirm the kill on the Sojourn. Then you should go after the Lifeweaver. Alright. Moving on. I'm going to push here. Alright, D.Va Bomb goes again. So, this is fine. Just throw the shield, right? And just sit here. That's fine, right? Like, you're exposed to this side, which is unfortunate. A smarter play would be to step over here and then throw the shield like this. You could even use May Ice Block to block it, hilariously. It might be a tight fit behind there. I certainly wouldn't risk it, but like if you're in a pinch, you can use May Block to block it. You got a lot of options right now. This is the worst option, where you have thrown the shield through the D.Va, and then you're going to die, which is going to cost you the fight. So, I don't think it's worth analyzing the rest of this. I think this is all pretty much the same stuff, right? It's like the same mistakes over and over again with like Grasp, Rock, Flux, shield usage, etc. So, let's cover offense. We're back to Roadhog. Roadhog offense, more viable than defense. Oh, actually, you're going to go Reinhardt. So, you see them all sit up top left. This is a problem, right? This is a fairly unusual setup for them. Your job here is not to move the cart. It's almost never the tank's job to move the cart. Your job is to create space. What's space? Space is clearing these people from up here. So even right now, I could be like, oh, shoot, they're playing top left. Great. I just run over here, I go up here, and I force them all off. That's got to be your goal right now, not moving the card. Moving the card here is not going to help you at all. Whoa, that's a crazy effect. Okay, good. You're rotating. Good. So I don't know if your brother called this or not, but this is the correct call, is to go top left right now. Great, D.Va's in here? Fine. She's popping missiles, shield. Why? As I mentioned earlier, D.Va does 215 damage a second when she's popping missiles. Don't, like, that's dangerous. Ryan only does like 90 damage a second with his swings. It spikes with Fire Strike. But like, D.Va can out damage you with missiles and trades positively. Hold shield right now to block the missiles. Wait till missiles are over, then keep fighting. But you go in, right? Good triple Fire Strike here. It's kind of interesting. You like pause there. I think you're like thought about charging. Yeah. So you go for the charge. Okay, fine. So you missed a lot here. This is like tough. I think that's something you get better at with time. Is just being able to track where people are. So you can see the D.Va here. You're gonna miss that one. That swings too early. Then the D.Va is like up to your right now. But you don't turn up in time, so she flies back at the high ground, which is honestly a good call. Then you see the Widow here or Genji here on the left, and you should have been swinging at the Genji. And now you finally come over. But the problem is you just generally don't do any damage there. You go for the D.Va. Okay, pin. Good D-Mech, right? You can just confirm the kill right now. This is a situation where I'd want to confirm the kill and then move on. Okay? This is not a situation like before where we're holding high ground. It's going to take her forever to farm ulti. I want to kill her right now. So as she blew up, I would follow her and just go swing, swing, and she's dead. Alright. Genji's dead. So no real reason to back up here. I think that you can be pushing forward right now with the shield. People can heal you at range. Like, I think you walk forward right now. I think you, in fact, charge forward right now. Because these two are overextended and you want to get this kill. I really want to get the kill on the Baby D.Va. Not your job to stand on the tank. If there's one tip I can give you that will sink in from a general tank perspective, don't stand on the cart. It's almost never your job to stand on the cart. You should step forwards and take space away from them. I want to take all this space over here to make the cart move nice, quick, easily without any contests. For the record, even right now, I think this is a perfectly viable opportunity to charge forward and get the kill. And remember what I said about killing the Baby D.Va? This D.Va is going to get her mech back very, very soon. Versus if you killed her, she would have to respawn, wait 10 seconds, then respawn all the way over here, and then she would have to fly back to you, which takes forever. So you really should have killed the D.Va. And it wasn't hard. Like, it requires literally no skill to do so. Watch, back here. Right? You break the D.Va mech? Great. Just run with it. Just literally run behind it, swing, swing, it's over. And then she's dead. But instead, you back up, which gives her the chance to live. So, things obviously go awry here. So, again, I see you going back to the payload. I think you're trying to move the payload faster, but I'm telling you it's not going to matter. Moving the payload, each additional person moves 33% faster up to a cap of 3. So, moving the payload 33% faster is not going to change this fight at all. They're still going to have all 5 people here ready to fight for this point. Because you're in one fight territory, okay? This space right here is only one fight. You win one fight here, you cap the point. So you should think of this as, I have 3 minutes to win one fight. Obviously, the faster you do it, the more time you get for the next stage, and you have to push it all the way to the end because you let them full cap on defense. But you have 3 minutes to push 1 point, and you're going to fail to do it. This should be something like 6 fights, which means you only need to win 1 out of 6 fights here to cap this point, and you can't do it. But you moving up faster right now is not relevant at all. You want to go up here and hold this corner, and if they're not stopping you, go and take this corner. If you take this corner, there's like no way that they can possibly stop the cap. Okay? So your perspective should be, can I safely get to this corner with full health or nearly full health? Yes, I probably win the point. So you're walking forwards, so now this is good, right? You're pushing. Unfortunately, you pushed late enough that the Widow has already gotten back here. If you pushed earlier, the Widow would never have gotten here in time. So right now, Widow kills your Widow. Unfortunate, right? Still potentially winnable. I mean, this is not a situation where I'd be pulling out. But now the D.Va's remeched. Now I have to pull out. There's almost no way for me to win right now with the Widow getting a pick and the D.Va being back out of mech. If you gotten her earlier, right? Even right now, she's at 91%. If you managed to go in and commit on the Baby D.Va, you would have like be able to like basically kill everyone here. You plus Mei plus Brig here easily kills these people if they don't have D.Va mech. But now it's too late. Now you basically have to die or get out. I don't think you can get out here, so just die. I wouldn't even hold shield. Like, you're not going to win this fight. Okay, so we're going to push back out. Again, we're still in one fight territory, right? You kill them here, you push the card, you probably win. So, no reason to be backing up here as long as your whole team is here. They're all here. You were the last one to die, so all 5 people are here. Just push up. Don't back up. Like, it's not going to get any better for you. You know what I mean? Like, they all have infinite ammo. They're just going to keep shooting you. Right here, you're strong. You have basically full health. You have basically full shield. Just go up and start swinging. Right? You get to take some damage. Great. Shield. And then just keep swinging. Right? Shield, keep swinging. Shield, keep swinging. I think you might benefit a lot from watching, like, my Reinhardt gameplay guide video to kind of understand how aggressive you need to be as Reinhardt. This right now is not helping your team win. Your shield is not for your team. Your shield is for you to attack the enemy team. Your May gets a pick, great. So I wouldn't throw Fire Strikes that far away because D.Va's going to Matrix it. You're also taking a ton of damage. Genji goes in. Right, Genji goes in right now. Great, follow him in. Charge right now. Because everyone is distracted by your Genji going in. Just charge right now. You want to pick off all the people here. You need to charge. Holding shield right now is not... There's no point in this. Right, you see? You're at 519 health right now. Just charge in. Just charge in right now and get the kills. So, Moira get pops Coalescence, saves your D.Va. You're throwing... your Fire Strikes are quite, to be perfectly blunt, terrible. Right? Let's actually look at the... So, this Fire Strike is not at anyone. Alright, now you're another Fire Strike charge. We're waiting. What is this Fire Strike? Also into the wall. Maybe you're trying to throw it over the top. Like, that's not a consistent Fire Strike. I just save the charge. All your abilities matter. Okay? The difference between you and a better tank is a better tank uses their abilities well. If you're just throwing your abilities away, you're not going to get any value, and then you're going to end up like having no impact. So there is no point shielding here. Moira Beam goes through your shield to begin with, A. B, she's not using it to kill you, she's using it to burn down your supports. C, you're full health right now, fight, right? Start swinging. Like, you're so close to shatter. You hit one hit on the Genji, and you shatter and you stop Coalescence. Oh boy. So, you've taken too long. D.Va pops bomb, Blade is popped, everyone's popping ultimates. You really don't need to get that close to the bomb, but fine. Alright, you at least don't die to bomb this time, which is great. So now, improvement. But the problem is, you're with two supports, you're having trouble finding the Genji, D.Va remix, Genji Blade has killed your May, there's like no way to win this fight. Kitsune was a bad call. Okay, fine. Minute and a half, we still basically have 3 fights to go, I have Shatter, still winnable. But the problem is, we're down 2, so I need to slow down right now. I do not want to be pushing. I don't know, your Brig is insane. Yeah, this is a massive stagger by your Brig. I know that's your brother who like, asked for this review. I'm just noting that this is wasting time off the clock right now. Okay, we can't push right now. As a reminder, we're missing most of our team, or a good chunk of it. All right, you have 4 people here. Your Brig is way too far. I'm like looking 2-fight territory here. I do not want to force this fight without the Brig. I really, really need the Brig to do this. All right. So everybody ignores the fact that your Brig died and was super staggered. Your team, by the way, is pushing because you are pushing right now. You are the one who is leading this charge. You're the one who started this mistake. Your Genji sees you're pushing. He's like, okay, my tank's pushing. I'm going to pop Blade. This is a mistake. Just literally wait 5 seconds for your Brig to get to you, and this fight is like way easier to win. The odds of you winning this fight without your Brig are only about 25%. If your Brig is here, it's about 50%. Why wouldn't I take the 50% fight? Also, you have 3 ultimates here versus just Valkyrie. If your Brig is here, this is the easiest fight to win. Like, you have 3 ultimates, and all they have is Valk. It's easy. But your Genji goes in too early. Genji pops Blade. Blade, he dies, right? Gets shot out of it. You charge here. You shatter, right? You should get the Mercy. At minimum, you should throw Fire Strike here to kill the Mercy. But the problem is, you don't. You go for the charge first, which is almost always a mistake. As a result, the Mercy does not die. She gets bumped out of the lane, and this Mercy is going to pop Valk, which means she's going to fly in the air, be functionally invincible, and then keep everybody alive. And now we are screwed. Right? Like, how do we win out of this position? Because nobody can kill the Mercy. Literally, nobody in your team can kill a Valkyrie Mercy. There's no hit scans on your team, so this Mercy is functionally invincible, which means she's healing everybody. She can res if she needs to. She can go off and get picks, and you guys are just going to lose the sustain fight. So, final fight territory, but this fight, you're even less likely to win, because now your team has no ultimates, their team has 2, not that Widow Ultimate's going to make that big deal, but Coalescence is definitely going to help, D.Va Bomb's almost there, Genji Blade's going to happen this fight too. So you're fighting 1, 2, 3, 4 ultimates against 1 ultimate, and you only have 1 fight to do it. because you and your team are just making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, and it's just way too hard to try to win in this situation. Like, even if I was you in this situation, it would be very hard for me to win, because I'm like, how do I, like, this is a massive ult disadvantage. This is a good rock. This is exactly what rock is for. Genji in my face, he's gonna pop deflect. Great, yeah, no, rock, 100%. If you hit the rock here, he probably dies. I think this is like the kind of good rocks that we're looking for. All right, Diva Bomb popped. There's no reason to keep the shield out this long, but that's fine. You just stay on the opposite side of the shield. You're good. Okay, good. We did not die to bomb. Good, improvement. Your brig is way too far forwards. Okay, yeah, I feel like your brig got nervous maybe from the bomb, but your brig is way too far forwards right now, and grasping is not going to save her. But yeah, with your brig dead, the odds of you winning is like 0. Oh, traded. So winnable now. 4-4. You missed the Diva there. That's unfortunate. You have 5 seconds. You have to touch a card. Yeah. Yeah. It's just way too hard to win in this situation. Like, you dug like way too deep of a hole to get yourself out of it. Okay. So, summarizing. I think, again, let's not worry about any of the advanced concepts around like space control and ult tracking or ult economy even. Like, none of that stuff. Like, I'm just noting it because like I'm just noting it to note it. The core thing here is you need to use your abilities better. Get value from your abilities. The vast majority of the abilities you use on all of your heroes get you almost no value. Shield, grasp, rock, hook, and trap get you like nothing. Even on Reinhardt, your shield doesn't really get you that much value. Charges, okay. Fire strikes, pretty inaccurate overall. Even your hammer swings aren't particularly accurate. Shatter, same deal, right? Even with Shatter, like, you're not winning fights with Shatter, which is a good sign that you're not going to be able to climb, because tank ultimates should be used to win fights. If your tank ultimates are not winning fights, you need to analyze, what am I doing wrong with my tank ultimates? Okay, I'm going to stop there. Hopefully this is helpful. I do strongly recommend that you watch probably like the Sigma and Reinhardt guides, I would say is the most helpful. And of course, like, practice pretty much everything that I mentioned, right? The aim, the flux kills, killing people with Shatter, etc. Like, there's a lot of stuff there. Okay, hopefully this is helpful.